Good morning, everybody. I am back again with another morning motivation, a positive thought, and a word to help you get through your day. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is the Up Your Averages morning motivation show, I guess you could say. I believe that every day we should seek to improve ourselves, whether we're seeking to improve our health, seeking to improve our mental health, our spirituality, our walk with our Creator, whether that's improve ourselves and our talent and our skills, improve our relationship with our significant other, improve our relationship with our kids, whatever it may be, each day is progress. Each day we should seek to improve and be better than we were the day before, and that is the entire point of Up Your Averages. And today I got a good word for you. I'm going to tell you what is better than revenge. I got a call from the school the other day. I remember when my daddy used to get calls from the school about me. They didn't have cell phones back in that day, so he couldn't look down at a cell phone and see that it was a school calling and let out a big sigh. What's he done now? And pick up the phone. They had to call in the house, leave a message with whoever answered or the answering machine. But you know, this is 2024, so the technology has evolved. I'm sitting at my desk the other day. My phone rings. It's my kid's school. One of my kids has done straightened somebody about mispronouncing their name. She don't like when you mispronounce her name. Say it in a way that it ain't supposed to be. She doesn't yet have that emotional maturity to be able to brush something like that off. We're working on that. But either way, they mispronounced her name and she reached out and got them and shook them. And evidently there was people in school that didn't like that. So I got a call and I had to have a talk with her. And it reminded me of many times in my life where there was an incident that occurred and my reaction is what determined the outcome. So much of life, of what happens to us, and so much of our journey, the paths that we end up taking, are determined by how we react to things. We are all served up situations on a daily basis, and we have a choice how to respond to that. You know, you might be at the grocery store, and somebody might step in front of you and cut you in line. I know that ain't right, but it's only as big a deal as you make it out to be. If you reach up and you slap fire from that person and knock them to the ground, well, you're going to have a whole different situation to deal with than if you just let that situation go. The course of your day is going to be determined by how you respond to that. And I was trying to explain to my kid, you know, when they mispronounced her name, she had a choice. She could have laughed it off. And if she had laughed it off, they'd all walked out of the room there and everything would have been fine. She'd have went to her class, the girl would have went to her class, everything would have been fine. But she had to reach out and grab her, put her hands on her. That changed the course of her day. She ended up getting suspended. And there are many times in life that people are going to come to us to try us, to see how far along we have made it on our journey. There are many times that life is going to serve us up a set of circumstances that we don't like. And we're going to have a split second to make a decision. How are you going to respond to that? You know, sometimes I'm driving along the road and a bad driver will cut me off or will do something they ought not do on the road, and it'll upset me. And I might want to say, you blankety, blankety, blankety. But if I got my kids in the car, or if I got my wife in the car, I may not want to act all ugly. I may not want to let it show that has upset me. It might be better if I put out a good example. And when that person cuts me off or whatever, maybe just say, Lord, bless that person today. Maybe they're not feeling their best. Maybe they're in a hurry. Maybe they have an emergency to get to. Or maybe they're just a dumbass and they don't know how to drive. Or maybe they're just an inconsiderate person. Who knows? But either way, I don't have to personalize it. I don't have to make it my problem. I don't have to get all mad and scream and yell and carry on and set that example for those in the car with me. I could get all upset, and maybe it's a road rage incident. Maybe they jump out the car with a pistol. Now the whole course of the day has went another direction that I didn't even see coming. But what happens if they pull out in front of me and they cut me off, and I just say, Lord, bless that person today? There's no road rage incident. There's no ugly set of circumstances. I worked a job one time. I was working at a restaurant, and it was the end of the night, and I went to check out. I was handing in my money and my receipts, my credit card receipts, all that stuff for the night, and we had to check out with the bartender. And the bartender, me and him really didn't get along too much. And I got up there, I waited my turn, I got up there to hand him my checkout, and he told me, I ain't taking your checkout. Get out of line. Next person come up. I was a whole line of people seen that happen. Man, the disrespect, I wanted to slap this dude. But I stood there and I took it. No big deal. I didn't act like it was a big deal. About 4 people went in front of me. The other bartender come and he seen me standing there. He did my checkout. Come to find out, the bartender was new and my checkout happened to be a little complicated, and he didn't want to do it because he didn't know how to do it. So he had a problem with properly communicate. Instead of saying, hey, this is an issue with your checkout and I don't know exactly how to do that, would you mind waiting for the other guy? Instead of doing that, he didn't have the ability to communicate and do that. So he just said, hey, you get out of line, blah, 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 blah. And he was ugly. That's as far as he had reached in his maturity level. And if I had slapped this dude because I thought he was being rude and disrespectful and straightened him, how much trouble would I have been in? Instead, I remained calm. I understood the situation, and clarity came. I got checked out. I went home. Everything was fine. So today, the word of encouragement is self-control. Just take a moment when something happens to you today. Step back. Don't respond. Don't give in to that emotional urge. Man, just offer up a word of prayer for that person. I talked here in my book, Up Your Averages, a daily guide to improving the quality of your life. I talked about that here. When I was growing up, my uncle had a sign on the refrigerator. It said, success is the best revenge. And I used that as a motivating factor for a while. But I've learned now, grace is better than revenge. Grace, mercy, understanding, kindness, all of that is better than revenge. Now, if you thought that was a positive word this morning, I appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. If you like this video and hit the little bell, ding. I bring these morning motivations to you a couple times a week. A lot of them come from my book, A Daily Guide to Improving Your Personal Relationship. My new one, A Daily Guide to Improving Your Finances. And for those who don't like to read, Daily Guide to Improving Your Life for people who don't like to read. All 4 of them make a set. It's the Up Your Averages series. It's a way to improve your life, your thoughts, your relationship, your money, all of it together. And they're all available on Mark W. Cass, MarkwCass.com. Up your averages.